All right, what's good? Welcome to another edition of Livewire Sports Media. I'm your host, Livewire itself. Welcome to another Motivational Monday. And I told you, like I said in my first video, that I will bring you another one. And I still got a lot of work to go because today is work day for me. So without further ado, let me get right into it. When it comes to Rebecca Lobo, it seems that she always have the right perspective when it comes to the Indiana Fever. It seems like she always digs deep inside of how things are supposed to play out, or what the Fever are going through, or how many perceive Caitlin Clark, or she was high on the Indiana Fever this season, and we all witnessed that. She said that Indiana Fever is a championship contender with all the pieces that they picked up. Now, some of that has not looked good, after the first game, after we blow out the Chicago Sky. But nevertheless, injuries took place. We didn't know that Caitlin Clark was really injured from preseason or training camp to preseason and now part of the season. I mean, with 6 or 7 games into the season, we still got a long road ahead of us. And then we suffer injuries to Sid Colston. We suffer injuries to Sophie Cunningham, not once but twice. So this, it's really been kind of frustrating for the Fever fans and everything like that. But understandably, there's a there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. The Indiana Fever started off pretty bad last year. I think 1-7, and then they turned their season around. Right now they 2-4, eighth place, but there's a lot of road ahead. Yeah, you got teams like New York, you got teams like Minnesota, 7-0. But guess what? We saw a lot of that last year when teams was out the gate early and they kind of slowed down in the second half of the season. This could be a good thing for the Indiana Fever too. Once they could get back healthy, once they could get their floor general back, and they figure things out. This team's still figuring everything out. We hear, we have heard, trade this person, get rid of this person. But last week, I think Rebecca Lobo did this interview on Sports Center, and she posted this. She said that this is from Friday. She did this 4 hours ago today, before the loss to the Sun and the additional injuries to Colston and Cunningham. But it feels, excuse me, but it feels the same. No time to panic. And that's what I have been trying to get you as viewers, as fans, to understand. There's no time to panic. If we was 20 games, 25 games into the season, 30 maybe, and then I could see, hey, things not looking good. But when you early on in the season and you making sure that you trying to piece everything together. DeWanda Bonner said it perfectly after the loss on to the Sun Friday. She said there's so much in and out of the lineup, people being injured, and it's like they have to start all over again. They have to really try to find a way. They trying to get everything to where they need to be. Even Kelsey Mitchell has to admit that, hey, my stuff is not on point like it's supposed to be. They just brought in Ariel Donald, who played with the Los Angeles Sparks, who was waived, to fill that void a little bit. Yeah, I know that we got pieces that we don't desire on this team, but they're part of the team. But this team has to find a way to build cohesiveness. They have to find a way to play without Caitlin Clark now. They have to find a way to play without Sophie Cunningham now. But good news is that I do believe Sid Colson, from reports I have seen earlier, that she's looking to probably return tomorrow night. So she's not on the injury report. And that's the things we have to do. We have to understand is that this team has to come together. We can't panic and go, you know, all over the place. Just being patient is the way to go. Is just to allow this team to continue to work hard and build. Because guess what? If this team start clicking and really start taking off, then what we going to do? We're gonna say, oh, well, I know this was gonna happen. We're gonna start giving Stephanie White all the credit. We're gonna start doing all of this. We're gonna start praising all these players when they do good. But then when they do bad or stuff don't go the way we want to, we're ready to bash them. We're ready to trade them. We're ready to compare the coaching staff to Chrissy Sides. And that's all of this stuff is unfair. And me personally, I'm from the old school genre. I have seen so many sports. I have seen a lot of different things in my time. I have seen my own teams that I love fall and struggle and everything else. But I believe this team will get it together. So let me play a piece from you from Andrea Carter had interviewed Rebecca Lobo, and this was last Friday. And this is what Lobo have to say because it's right where the things I have been saying for the last few weeks. Take a listen.
What's the panic meter right now for Fever fans? Where should they be?
Where is the panic meter, or where should the panic meter be, Elle? Because those are two very different things.
Right.
I'm sure Fever fans were expecting a very different start, but they should not be worried, I don't think, at all. Remember, 2 of the 3 games that they lost were with Caitlin Clark. It was by a combined 3 points. One of those games was to the New York Liberty. This is a team that's based around what Caitlin Clark does so well. They got rim runners this year. She's one of the best advanced passers in the WNBA. Well, when she's not playing, that's going to look different. She is one of the best players we've seen in women's basketball in terms of involved in the pick and roll. That is going to look different when she's not on the floor. Aaliyah Boston isn't going to get the same kind of touches. So the players are learning how to play right now, not only with one another, but now without Caitlin Clark. It was a great sign that in their last game, DeWanna Bonner had a 20-point game, but I don't think that fans should be too worried. I think they're going to find themselves, and in some ways, this could help some of the supplemental pieces grow a little bit in Caitlin Clark's absence.
And absolutely, I agree with that because it will help a lot of the parts grow together. Now, I still would love to see Michaela Tipsson get a burn and get some play in this. I definitely think she can help the team, especially when it comes down to bigs. I think, if you're gonna still have Bree Turner on the roster, you definitely need to play her more. I do believe Dantes needs to get some starting minutes. I think Natasha Howard, she needs to be in and out of the lineup or she needs to come off the bench with the second unit. I think now that with Ariel Donald, if you're going to still start Colston in the starting lineup, make a lineup change with Natasha Howard. Bring Dantes in. Start, I mean, say for instance, you got Colston, Boston, Lexi Hall, Dantes, and Kelsey Mitchell. You start them. And then you come off the bench with um DeWanna Bonner, Ariel Donald, Natasha Howard. Then you don't lose scoring in that much defense. Because now with Sophie Cunningham out, now you have to really rely on oh my gosh, DeWanna Bonner. And excuse me, I did say Andrea Carter. That was Ellen Duncan right there. And I'm sure Ellen Duncan is eating all of this up that the Indiana Fever is struggling right now. But let on her. So the thing about it is that I think they have to play a different way, which we expect that they are going to play a different way. But I think with Ari McDonald, she could bring a little bit more energy, a little bit more tempo to the second unit. I think that's really going to be a viable case because she's lights out a shooter. She could shoot. I just showed you clips in the last video. She could shoot. She could push. She could get to the basket. And that's what we're going to need. We need somebody that could really pressure the ball, force somebody like, Brittany Sykes are doing to play differently. They need to come out with a lot of energy this time around. And like I said, I would love to see Michaela Tipsson going in against Kiki Arifin, play tough with her. You got Boston playing against Shakira Austin. You got Dantas. You need to use these bodies, all of these big bodies. It's no time to handcuff the roster and not play certain players. You have to play them now. Until Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham comes back, then you can move around. I do believe that Ari McDonald does play very, very well. She could carve out her spot on this roster and help this roster down the stretch. But right now, we need all the bodies we can. We cannot sit here and keep people on the bench. We can't sit here and run a 9-man roster. And you got all the players on this roster that need their minutes managed. So why not utilize Bree and Michaela a little bit more to help out? I don't even care if it's 10 to 15 minutes. Give that time because you never know what they could do and bring on that floor if you don't play them. And you definitely you have to play them. There's no time right now. You got to pick up some wins here and there. You got to, because if you lose to the Mystics on Tuesday, then you turn around, lose to the Sky, then you got New York coming up and all of this stuff. You could be at 2-7, and that's a pretty steep hole to dig out of. Not saying that the Fever can't do it because they have done it, but you cannot rely on Caitlin Clark coming back to dig us out of all of these games. You got to pick up games now while they still winnable. And if you pick them up, then that helps out your floor general when she come back. She don't have to have too much work to do. Just fit in and blend in and let everything flow a little bit better. And also, Kelsey has to get a shot. I want to see Kelsey start catching fire. I do love the Wanda Bonner as well getting hot now. I think she's finally settled herself down. Playing in Indiana ain't like playing in Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? The pressure is on. And I think these players probably have felt the pressure of performing for this team, and they didn't know how to react to it. Now you know. Ooh, I like that. Now you know. So we'll see. So Tuesday night, I will be at work. I definitely won't be able to watch the game, but I will review the game when I get off work that morning, and then I'll give my post-game analysis. But I will be tracking the game. Trust me, I stay locked in. So again, good stuff from Rebecca Lobo is always, always, always good for her. So I'm loving it. Until the next time, this is your Motivational Monday, Live Wire Sports Media. You know what it is, because if you don't know, now you know.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live Wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.